On May 26, 1949, the eve of Shanghai's liberation, Rong Yiren, owner of the Rong Family Enterprises, the wealthiest national capitalist enterprise in Old China, lay awake through the night. Like other capitalists of his stature, he has long heard of the nationalist regime's collapse and the Communist parties of China impending nationwide victory. While others fled abroad, fearing communist reprisals, Rong chose to stay. Disgusted by the nationalist treasonous acts and inspired by the communist ideas, he clung to hope for China's rebirth. At dawn, he drove through the streets where PLA soldiers slept on sidewalks, orderly and kind, utterly unlike nationalist troops. Relief washed over him, cementing his resolve. On October 1st, 1949, the new China emerged triumphant, yet its economy lay in ruins. Private capitalism dominated industry and commerce, accounting for over 60% of national output. Most of them were small, backward factories that teetering on collapse. The Communist Party of China recognized the private capitalist economy as an indispensable force, adopting dual strategies. The first one is support. The government contracts provided raw materials to private factories, ensuring profits and preventing closures. The second one is guidance. They steadily steering capitalism toward the state collaboration. In late 1953, Chairman Mao announced the general line for the transition period, mandating socialist transformation of capitalist industry through public-private partnerships. As soon as the policy was announced, panic swept through the private entrepreneurs. Because the term public-private partnership had been heard before, during the Republic of China era under Kuomintang rule. Back then, it was a trap, a cover for bureaucratic capital to develop private businesses, driving countless entrepreneurs into ruin. Even Rong Yiren, a capitalist who trusted the Communist Party of China completely, hesitated. Because as a child, he had witnessed firsthand the nationalist government fabricate charges and seize his family's business. The trauma left scars. But then came a conversation that changed everything. Shanghai's Mayor Chen Yi, a man of direct words and firm handshake, looked Rong Yiren in the eye and said, "We don't care for that little bit of your property. The tens of millions of workers and peasants in New China can create 1 billion, 2 billion, even hundreds of billions worth of wealth. Yours is but a drop in the ocean." These words hit Rong Yiren like a thunderclap. He was struck by guilt, ashamed of his short-sightedness, and moved by a new wave of trust in the Communist Party of China. Soon after, as the head of China's largest private business group, Rong wrote a public letter to Chairman Mao on behalf of Shanghai's entire business community, pledging full support for public-private partnerships across all industries. Time would prove that he made the right choice. The communist-led transformation was nothing like the predatory model of the Kuomintang. It was built on fairness, on negotiation, on policy and contracts. The government gradually increased public shares in private firms and appointed cadres to help with enterprise management. Ownership shifted from private hands to shared ownership between the public and the private. During this period, China increased its shareholding in private enterprises and assigned party-appointed cadres to oversee operations, transforming these companies from privately owned to jointly owned. Profits were divided into 4 parts: Around 30% went to taxes, 10% to 30% to enterprise reserve funds, 5% to 15% to employee bonuses and welfare, and roughly 25% to shareholders, managers, and directors. This ensures state control over production while protecting both workers' and capitalist interests. By 1956, socialist transformation had fundamentally succeeded. Private business were not crushed, they were revitalized. Take Shanghai, for example. The total industrial output of public, private, and private firms grew from 4.573 billion yuan in 1952 to 7.96 billion yuan in 1956, a stunning 74.8% increase. And as for Rong Yiren's enterprises, they became the model of successful transition. Honored as red capitalist, Rong once said, "Yes, I am a capitalist, but first and foremost, I am a Chinese." In times of economic hardship and political tension, the party's every policy, every decision, and every word from Chairman Mao was thoughtful, decisive, and unwavering. When they spoke, they acted. His heartfelt words echo the feelings of countless others. Under the leadership of the Communist Party of China, a peaceful social revolution took place. China completed the transformation of its capitalist industry and commerce, established the foundations of socialism, and stepped into a brand new era of development. This great revolution reminds us all that progress does not mean crushing the past with violent force. It means lighting a new dawn through unity, cooperation, and fairness. In the Communist Party's vision, even the sparks of the old world can help ignite the sunrise of a new one.